Hey, this is Billy Childs from Brittany Fox, and you're listening to the Cosmick Voice.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
This is the Cosmick Voice. Cosmick Voice. Music, talk, and nothing but business with your hosts, Chris Natalini and Mick Michaels.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cosmick Voice. This is Season 8, Episode 1. I am here with my co-host, Chris Natalini.
Oh, man, it's good to be back.
And I am Mick Michaels. Welcome back, everyone, to another show, another season. Here we go, Season 8. Chris, how are you, my good man?
What's happening, my brother? I am doing well. I'm back in the space station, back in the capsule, floating around the Earth, loving it. Loving it. It's getting into spooky season, so we're doing, man. We're good, bro. We're good. Good. Summer was good. Always way too fast, but I know you were busy. I know we'll talk about that later. I was busy along with you at certain points, so it was good. It was a decent summer. Both bands are at a kind of a standstill right now, but it is what it is. That is the nature of the business right now. I'm still trying to plug away, man. Still trying to create and do things outside of the realm of being in a band.
For some reason, it actually seemed like the last couple of weeks, you may have wanted to be back in the space station more than the audience wanted to hear us back in the space station. So I was kind of gearing everything up around you, figuring I'll follow that excitement. Let's do it.
No, man, I love being in the space station, bro. This is awesome. Get to back with you. Another season 8. We're coming off an amazing season 7 with, being voted best music collaboration.
Yeah, Apple Podcast. Yeah, top 10 under artist collaborations.
10? I mean, come on.
Yeah,
come on.
Like, who messed up there? But I'll take it. Hell
yeah, man. I'll take that. Absolutely, bro. So, yeah, it's been exciting. But, yeah, I'm super excited to start season 8. I know, the industry is constantly changing. I've been reading some articles in the past few weeks, which I'm sure we'll get to as the season goes on. But, man, it's crazy out there. And, we've been losing some pretty big names in the rock, heavy metal, hard rock world. Of course, Ozzy passed away this summer.
Yeah.
And, a lot of our artists were on that Back to the Beginning concert. Did you see any of that, Mick? I don't know, because you and I didn't really talk about it. Did you see
I seen a little bit of it. Yeah, I seen a little bit of it. It was...
I mean, listen, bro. What a way to end your life, man. Like, seriously, you start out, as poor as he did, and he became this mega star, man. Like, he was beyond heavy metal, right? Like, he was a household name, whether you knew any of his songs, you knew who he was, his family, everybody was beyond music. And you started because of music, and man, your last concert, was just phenomenal. You sounded phenomenal. You looked good considering everything he's been through the past few years. And 2 weeks later, you're gone. The last thing you got to see was being on stage in front of thousands of people surrounded by your best friends, original members of Sabbath, original 4 members, and you're gone 2 weeks later. I mean, you couldn't write that kind of story. Like, seriously, you could. It's awful that he's gone, but man, what a way to go, man. What a way to end your life. Just an amazing thing.
You go out on top, right? You go out with the biggest bang that you possibly can. I mean, I read some articles, and again, a lot of this is conjecture. You got to take some things with a grain of salt. People were saying he knew this was coming and this is what he wanted to do and how he wanted to end it. And then he kind of just gave up after that because he went full circle. He did exactly what he wanted to do always that talk that he cared so much about the fans and didn't want to do, one of his reasons for not touring anymore, stopping touring, he didn't want to give the fans less than what they deserved.
Right.
And how many guys, I mean, seriously, how many guys that are in great health are out there? I'm not going to name any names, but maybe they shouldn't be out there the way that they, or in the capacity that they are. And unfortunately, I think that they're just getting some numbers because people love to see a train wreck, right? They like to show up at the fire and see what's happening. I mean, and that's a shame because especially some of these guys had careers that you could only dream about, you know. But here, Ozzy took it one step further. It's not something he wanted to just give up, but he did because it was the best that he could do for the audience rather than giving them something half-hearted. But he got to do it one last time under his terms. He worked this out. Like, this is how we're going to do this if I'm going to do it.
And, you know, it's crazy because, you know, I did see interviews, and of course, we don't know the truth, right? Like, I'm sure there's only a few people that really know the honest to God's truth. Heard a couple of interviews. I read a couple of interviews where other stars that were on the show were like, oh, yeah, you know, we weren't sure if he was going to do it. And some guys were like, oh, he's definitely not going to be able to do it. And, you know, we're going to do the show anyway. And then that guy goes out there and does 10 songs, 9 songs, whatever, and shocked everybody.
Right.
And listen, maybe he did. Maybe there was a part of him that was like, listen, I could die now. I doubt it. But, you know, we don't know. We'll never know.
No, we'll never know.
But what a way to go, dude. The really cool thing is, I look at it like this. If he didn't do that Back to the Beginning show, I don't necessarily know if Ozzy's death would be in the news as much as it has been. I mean, every day there's somebody coming out talking about the Ozzy show since he passed. And I'm not saying that people wouldn't be talking about Ozzy, but I think with as well as that show was, you know, and then him dying 2 weeks later, I think just really kind of set the music news on fire because it's been endless. It's just every day it's somebody coming out going, oh yeah, you know, Ozzy this and Ozzy was this and Ozzy was this. And I'm like, man, you know, he's kind of been out of the public eye for a few years. Would, you know, if he didn't have that show, would we be having as many conversations about him as we do now? And I'm just glad. I'm glad that this was the way it went. And, you know, it's sad that he's gone, but man, what a legacy to leave behind.
You said it just a little bit ago. Ozzy, whether it's the man and or the persona, right, the rock star persona, it was more than just heavy metal. It was more than just doom. It was more than just rock and roll. Everybody knew who he was. Even if you didn't know his music, there was something about him that you knew, whether it was true, made up, or whatever, but you just knew who he was from back in the day with Black Sabbath, or when he became a solo artist, or when he got onto MTV with his show, or, you know, one of his many other little podcast type shows. It doesn't matter. I mean, I don't know. What is that? 5-6 decades?
At least, yeah.
Right?
Least.
You know what I mean? So you got multiple generations of people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, I mean, I'm not even sure.
Crazy.
I'm not even sure I can. I don't even know. I can't even come up with a joke with that. But I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not even sure what. I can't even cover a flight of steps, let alone decades. So that's just an amazing. It's just. I mean, listen, it's an amazing career. Guy had multiple acts, but at the same time, even though when he was not there, he was still there.
Yep.
Right. How did he keep his career going in the '90s? Well, he started Ozfest.
Yeah. Yep.
Almost to the point that, if it wasn't for Ozfest, if you think about it, during that time, I think metal in whatever form may have just disappeared completely.
Well, I mean, you definitely can have that argument because that Ozfest started so many bands. I mean, it got Ozfest shows, that whole tour, you know, through the years, it started so many amazing careers by the acts he had on that show. I mean, that whole thing just skyrocketed so many people.
Would it have disappeared 100% complete? No, but it would have been down there somewhere with dueling banjos. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, and you know it, by 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, there was a resurgence of a new metal. Not new metal, but of a new metal.
A new metal.
And from there, it's just been kind of picking up steam since then. And in its wake, bands from the 80s had a resurgence.
Yes.
And it's like, and it has yet stopped. I mean, you have so many bands from that era that are still out there doing something, or those artists are doing independent stuff. And you had mentioned earlier, I mean, we are losing artists. I mean, it's the nature of life, and these guys are older than you think that they are. You know what I mean? Because in our brain, they still look like it's 84, right? But then
absolutely.
Then you fast forward and you're going, oh my God, that's David Lee Roth.
Oh,
yeah, that's know that's Dr. Smith from Lost in Space. I mean,
hey man, listen, not for nothing. I saw him twice this past summer on his new tour. You know, he did probably 20 dates. I got to see him twice, man. And let me tell you, what a great show. I mean, he's having the time of his life. He could care less. He is having the time of his life. And listen, the best thing he did was hire these 4 guys behind him, these black gentlemen who can sing their butts off. The best thing that man ever did was hire those individuals, those guys. It's so funny because there were so many times that I said to my wife, I go, you know, because Roth is just doing stuff on stage, he's like making himself laugh. You can see the guys, the backup singers, they're laughing at him, and the whole time they got to be going, this white dude is crazy. They're like, what's he talking about?
It's like the easiest paycheck I've ever made.
They're just like, whatever, man. Let's just sing the chorus and just get to the next.
David Lee Roth comes back, points at them. They point at him, smiling, laughing, singing their parts. I seen it. I've seen.
It's amazing to me. They're just like, man, this guy he's out. He's off his rocker. But
you're looking at it in a, hey, this is a real good time. He's having a good time. The band plays on type of thing, right? And that's fantastic because then you look at all the other videos or the comments or even some of the write-ups that have been done, and people are like, what is he doing? He's completely lost it. This isn't the David Lee Roth that we know from, 82, 83, 84. Well,
right.
Of course it's not. But you're looking at it, that's making me change kind of my view. It's like, he's just up there, he's in his own, he's in his own world. Whatever's in that head is his own world. And he's just enjoying it.
Loving it, dude. For 90 minutes, he's just loving it, dude. Just playing these songs that everybody wants to hear, everybody wants to sing along to. And he's got a great band behind him.
Oh, he's got a great band, yeah.
His band is amazing, and he plays for 90 minutes, give or take, and of course it's all the Van Halen hits you want to hear. For me, because I'm a Roth guy, I'm a little disappointed he didn't do any of his solo stuff, but again, I don't know how many people in a building want to hear his solo stuff, right? They would just want to hear that Van Halen stuff because, God knows if you'll ever hear it again. Once Hagar decides to, stop playing, and, it's Roth, man. And again, a lot of people, like you said something online, and I go, well, listen, would you rather pay the money for backing tracks? Because I wouldn't. You know what I mean? Like, he may be hitting a few off keys, but you know what? The band and the guys behind him are singing. Sounds okay to me. At least they're not using a backing track. And he apparently admitted that at the Vegas show in 2020 that he was using a backing track. And he said, I don't want to do that. I want to go out there live. And that's what he did. And worked for me. You know what I mean? Because they sounded great. He didn't sound bad. Like, I saw him in Atlantic City. He was okay. And then I saw him in Bethlehem, and he was way better. But towards the end of this show in Bethlehem, you could kind of hear his voice going out. Like, you could kind of tell, whatever, dude. Whatever, because he's got all these guys behind him singing their butts off, and he's having a great time.
It's definitely a really good band. You get a really good band, and you got, what you say, like he's got 4 or 5 singers back there. What do you need backing tracks for?
One singer would run over to the keyboard, there'd be 2 keyboard players, playing, but everybody's singing. So
everybody's singing. Personally, I was never a huge David Lee Roth solo fan. There are a couple songs that I think besides maybe like New Pair of Shoes or whatever, but a couple of them, I thought maybe he would do a few of those. I thought that because they were successful tours. They may not have been giant radio hits, but man, they were. I just, over the summer, seen an interview with Steve Vai, and he talked about, they weren't like chart toppers. He goes, but those tours were packed. He goes, it was unbelievable. So maybe our version of what we think is a hit, like if people know it, to me, that's a hit. And I realize
that's right. If you're,
I realize there's the numbers, there's the charts and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, if people knew the song, well, that to me, that knowing was better than not knowing. So I'm kind of surprised. How many solo albums did he do? Not counting the Beach Boys thing, because that was more of like a EP, but then with the band.
He's got at least 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, I could see maybe those first 2 albums for sure.
Yeah, like they were the biggest ones for him.
Right.
Yeah. The last one he had was very weird. He had, a bunch of different musicians on it, and he had like a couple covers, and, it didn't do very well. I think he put it out himself, but there's another one that I think he put out himself, so I think there's 2 he put out. But yeah, there's probably like 6 or 7 at least.
The marketing tool, right, the promotional juggernaut is, especially now, is to do Van Halen stuff.
Well, of course.
The original vocalist from Van Halen has a drawl. Right?
Yes.
So Sammy Hagar does the same thing. Now, I know, like you had said, he throws in his solo stuff, too. Now, he's actually had chart-topping solo stuff prior to his entry into the VH family. I've always said, more power to you. If you're pulling it off and people are digging it, honestly, I like your perspective on it. Literally, just now, just thinking about what I've seen and thinking about how you're looking at it has changed everything. That maybe you don't take it so seriously. There's a guy having a good time, his band's having a good time, and people are having a good time. And like, not to quote Paul Stanley, because here's our first Kiss reference of the new season. I mean, he goes, if you're looking for that singer from 1977,
right,
you're not going to find him.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right. And you know what? It's just like social media. You put, I don't know, we'll say 1,500 people in a room.
Right.
There's always going to be like 1 or 2 people complaining, and they're the ones that are going to be online complaining. Like everybody else having a great time singing, high-fiving, dancing. Nobody cares.
Right.
And there's always 1 or 2 people who are like, oh, he's awful. We'll post it online so we can make fun of him. Just stop it. Stop it. You're the dummy that paid your ticket. And listen, if you go thinking you're going to see 1984 David Lee Roth, you're out of your mind. Same thing with Motley Crue. If you want to pay whatever money it is to go see Motley Crue, and you didn't expect him to not be 1985 Vince Neil, then you're out of your mind.
Right.
Look, I don't know what to tell you.
Right. And then that leads us into the next story, right? That just recently Vince Neil had a number of strokes prior to, which, I guess is giving precedence to why. But does that count for last year and the year before and all the other years? Or, I mean, listen, that's bad stuff. And he's fortunate enough that he was able to recover, that he could go back to doing what he was doing, because there are people that don't. And they said, how many did he have? He wound up having 6 or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, like 4 or 6. Yeah,
that's crazy, And
it is crazy, dude. And, I'm not the big, I have my own personal issues with Vince Neil just because of, his past stuff. But, of course I would never want, I feel for the guy. I mean, strokes but yeah, I got to give it to him, man. Like, honest to God, he's out there and, they told him he's saying he had to relearn to walk and, his brain, he doesn't have all of his functions up to speed, but he's out there doing it. And I got to tell you, the video I saw of him a few weeks ago from those first couple shows, not bad. I mean, honestly, not bad. Now, maybe that's because he's concentrating on singing and walking and not like trying to, think of other things. Like maybe he's not so concerned about other things. Like maybe now he's just focused on singing and getting through the set, whatever. But he didn't sound bad, man. He really didn't. And God bless him, dude. God bless him.
Yeah, I mean listen,
that guy has been riddled with bad luck his entire life.
Yeah.
Whether he brought it on himself or it happened to him, I feel like that guy just can't catch a break. He just cannot catch a break.
I mean, what is he, early 60s, mid-60s?
Yeah,
I mean,
I would say.
Because Motley Crue was kind of a younger band, even in the fold, right?
Yes, yeah.
Like Tommy Lee, like, I mean, has he made 60 yet? Or is he still like...
No, I think they're I think they're
I mean, because, like, right? Because he was really young. Much younger.
Was.
Yeah.
He was super young, yeah.
It's Russ the Boss.
Take it down.
Johnny D from Britney Fox.
This is Stephen Pearson from Rat, the Rat Bastard. You're listening to the Cosmick Voice.
But here we are, season 8.
We talked about AI a lot last season through season 7, but it has literally exploded they have companies now, like they're using AI to write books and create this and that. I mean, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. So much so that there's a movement that people are like, like we have to police this. That's how bad, because we don't know what's real anymore.
No.
And it's crazy. And of course, there's still that whole copyright issue. What is, what isn't, what you can do, what you can't do, who owns it, who doesn't. I do know that with Amazon's publishing and their KDP and all that stuff, you have to, as you're going through it, self-release books, or you can put your company up and they can release books through Amazon and all that. When you go through all the profile of that book and the authors and all, they ask about AI, that you this and that and the other thing. I was just talking to a gentleman who wrote a book. He wrote it in his native language, but he wanted to have it in English, and he used ChatGPT to do the translation.
Mm-hmm.
And now the book in his native language was released and published through Amazon, so it's available.
Okay.
Well, the English version that he wanted to put, as a companion on Amazon, and that's a whole separate. Amazon has it where it's not just one book. You'd have to create a second version of the book, so to speak. So now this would be an English version. They would not accept it because ChatGPT did the translation.
Now, is that something that he had to tell them, or did they find out?
As far as I know, through as you're clicking off the boxes, as they're asking you questions about it, that's what I understood. So I'm not 100% sure. I also read an article over the summer that apparently, listen, I'm not even sure how that they can figure this, because, I mean, you're talking to a guy who can't even write his name anymore. Like, I forget how to do L's. And sometimes
cursive.
Yeah, it's not even cursive anymore. It's just scratch. Like, I know I can move, like I can grab the pen and I can move from the left to the right. What happens in between that movement? Every time it's something different. And I'm like, even my wife she goes, what's that? I go, that's about, let me try it again. And I'm like, it gets worse. And I go, well, you pick which one. Neither of them looks like the name. So this is where I'm at. But anyway, it was saying something about, maybe I'm misunderstanding it, which isn't that hard to do, that the way that it's put together, sentence structure, word uses, almost like how the sentence reads out, I guess these algorithms or how they have it scanned, that they can recognize certain things, it red flags that, oh, this is AI written. This isn't 100% human written.
Okay.
Honestly, I couldn't answer that for sure. But the way I see it now, they can write about anything and say anything, and you just choose to believe it or you don't believe it. So who knows? And I've been sharing stuff with you, AI music, that people are using to put together to take classic songs and change the genre, change this and that. And you and I both have said, hey,
it's so good.
It's so good. It's scary.
So good. I hate to say it, but I'm like, I would buy this record.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, I've heard versions of Kiss songs in different I'm like, oh my God, this is fantastic.
It's good.
I mean, and the production, like, not just way the song sounds in this other format, but the production is getting so much better. I mean, just in 2 years, it doesn't sound, it sounds full, it sounds well. And was it during last season that the number one band on Spotify wasn't a real band?
Yeah,
right?
It was last season, yeah. So
you now have labels that are created specifically for AI music. There's no
crazy,
turning back now, buddy.
What's crazy at the time of recording this, and I could send you the article privately, but I was reading an article on, I think it was Digital Music News or something like that, and they had an article where they said in a year, Spotify has removed 75 million AI spam tracks in a year. Wow. 75 million AI spam tracks, which is not weird, but it was talking about how these artists, or however this is coming up, they're using other artists' name, which is funny because a few weeks back, I had a thing come up on my Spotify that said, Ulysses Exodus, here's a new song by Exodus. And I go, it doesn't even look like their logo. Like, it's a different picture. When I clicked on it, completely different genre of music, but the band was called Exodus. Now, it's not on there anymore. So I'm assuming that it was one of these AI spam music songs or tracks or whatever you want to call it. But apparently, in a year, 75 million.
Wow.
And then you and I wonder why we can't get our stuff listened to on streaming services, and that's why.
You know, Hereafter released a new EP this past summer. We signed with a different label. When the EP went live on the day that it did, you go to the Spotify link, it went to another Hereafter. It was like a DJ picture or something. It wasn't even like, you know, it was just a DJ picture. I don't even know if it was a stock DJ picture. It just was a, you know, a DJ with the headphone and he's at the turntable type of thing. So I had to contact the label because they weren't even aware of it. They're like, what are you talking about? Like, we had given them the Spotify that we were, you know, using, you know, whatever that is, you know, for our other EPs that are on. And I'm like, nah, it's going someplace else. And this guy's getting these numbers. Like, we got to get this taken care of. The label did get on it, thankfully. And I think in like 3 days it was solved. But I'm wondering if that, now that you said that, because I didn't see that article, which I'm now curious, what's their criteria to find that? Are they just going up and finding, like you said, band names and creating another account? I don't even know how to go do that. So
dude, you know what's funny? I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I don't either. Like, and here's the funny thing. Are they doing it with smaller name bands? Because nobody in the right mind is going to have a spam AI track with Taylor Swift's name on it. That'll probably be taken down immediately.
Right.
So it's weird that if that Exodus thing and the Hereafter thing are kind of one and the same, like, do they just find, or do they find, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
That's pretty amazing. So, yeah, maybe we were part of that thing, too. But I would like to see what Spotify is doing, which I'm actually kind of surprised at. Not surprised, but is that for as much as they're not paying artists and how they're creating their own playlists with their own Muzak type of setup, that they're actually policing, which I think is a smart thing to do. Like you said, it only clogs up the system. So is it part of the policing because it isn't real? Which now, how much of it's not real? Is it a standard? Like maybe those early ones were below standard. They weren't of a certain quality. I'm more interested now to read about that and see where this goes. Like how they're doing it, what's involved, and where is this leading to? Because what did you say? 750 million?
No, 75 million.
70
in a year.
I'll take 1,000 of that if you're giving out money. But I mean, that's a lot. I mean, think about that. It's crazy,
dude. That's 75 million songs and or tracks or whatever. Like album. I don't know if it's full albums or just track, but 75 million in 12 months. And then, you know, the one thing they did say was, I guess they're going to start. I forget how the article went. I don't want to talk out of line, but it had something to do with they're going to look into a better filtration system. I guess a better filter on their sites, maybe to, you know, cut them out before it gets, you know, put on the actual.
Well, let me ask you this, and because my current situation revolves around labels, I don't get involved in the distribution per se. Like, I don't upload anything to Spotify. Like, I don't direct. Right. Can you directly upload to Spotify?
I think you can, yes. Yes, okay. I think you can. I don't think you have to buy one of those
distribution packages. Okay.
I think it's just right to Spotify.
Okay, and I've said this before. I'm not a Spotify user. I don't have a Spotify account. That may be part of the problem because I don't know. I don't get into it. But again, when the label sends me links and says, this is where you can get your stuff, it's just natural to me that, hey, I want to go check it out. I want to see what the layout is, make sure they got the proper artwork and all that.
Yeah,
and all the other links that I got for like Apple and so on and so forth, they were all fine. But as soon as I hit that Spotify, I was like, oh, that's not us. that's not even the album cover, like, you know, and I'm not sure. And then I was like, I'm not, like, that's one song, but then there was like 5 or 6 other songs I know they weren't ours. So that's interesting. 75 million. Crazy.
Dude,
crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
Amazing, man.
Well, I wonder why a lot of things aren't happening anymore, but it's...
It's true. And then, I don't know if you read this article either, about a couple of states have sued Ticketmaster.
Yes.
For a couple billion for, illegally selling tickets to third parties.
That's right.
Making money on them.
Did not we speak of this several seasons ago?
Somebody's listening to the show.
Somebody's listening, because how are these shows selling out, or tickets are disappearing within, seconds? And we've talked about it before. I'm going to say it again just in case somebody else picks up on it. We said it about the tickets, and I've been saying it about the bootleg T-shirts now. These aren't the bootleg T-shirts I remember from the early 80s, where it was R-A-T and the other T was on the back, or it started on the sleeve and it ended somewhere down near your belly button. This isn't your daddy's bootleg T-shirt shop anymore. These T-shirts are of some of the highest quality, not just of the shirts, but the inking or the printing. It's like, listen, I'm not afraid to say it. I wait till I go outside after the show because I save a ton of money and I get some nice looking shirts. I am positive the bands are now in cahoots with these guys.
Well, I'll tell you a little story. That I was just told by a mutual friend of ours. So a friend of ours took his daughter to, I think it was My Chemical Romance here when they played in Philadelphia a few months back. And my buddy dropped his daughter off and her friends, and he and his son went to have dinner. He said as they were leaving the parking lot, he saw a bunch of guys selling shirts being arrested, but not by Philadelphia police. He said they looked different. Their uniforms were different. They were in like a white truck, not like a police car. Yeah. So I'm wondering, because I can't tell you the last time I saw a bootlegger run from a cop. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell you. Let me back up the story. So I work with a guy who does security at the Link here in Philadelphia for Eagles games, stuff like that. And he was telling me that when FIFA, the soccer organization, when they were here, the traffic leaving the stadium was so much better than it normally is because FIFA, they hire their own police.
Oh.
So it's not just the Philly cops, where, if you're leaving a stadium here in Philly, the cops could care less how you get out of the stadium. They're just like, whatever, just don't run anybody over. So they're backed up in traffic. Well, he was telling me when FIFA was here, they had their own police, they had their own people were out of the stadium in no time. Which leads me to think, I wonder if My Chemical Romance hired security or outside police or whatever to take care of the bootleggers. Because I've never seen Philly cops arrest anybody, not even in Camden. I've never seen these guys get arrested or run from the cops like they used to back when we were younger.
Yeah.
They don't run anymore.
No.
They may walk away, but they're not chasing them down. So when he told me that, I'm like, well, that's really interesting to me, because then that would, there's something in that makes me go, dang, I think Mick he may be onto something here. So maybe some of these bands are in cahoots with the bootleggers.
With the 360 deal, right? Or you have to pay a certain percentage. All that cash money, because, listen, you're not using Venmo, Cash App. Hey, can I PayPal you? You guys take checks for those shirts? There's none of that. It's, when a shirt goes from $20 to $5, come on. Give me 2 for $15, something like that. You know what I mean? You got a medium, they got any size you want until you get it home and you find it's never the size you want. But that's okay, because you're barely paying for it. I just think it's an easy way to make some money. And listen, I don't begrudge anybody from doing it, especially when you got too many people's hands in your pockets. What do you make? You wind up making nothing. So you figure out a way. Can I still move some merchandise and make some money and pay some guys and so on and so on? Listen, I may be 100% wrong. The quality of these shirts, Chris.
Dude, some of them are so good.
They're amazing.
Some of them are so good. I mean, you and I, listen, when we went to see that Kiss show a couple years ago, we talked about those, what were they, white hoodies I think we saw in the parking lot? That things were gorgeous.
Oh, my God, yeah. Come on, man. My kid now is like, Dad, I'm going to so-and-so. You want a shirt? I go, unless you're picking it up in the parking lot, I don't want. He goes, yeah, it's all right. And then he comes home and he gives me a $5 shirt. I just got a great white one, and I'm looking at him going, oh my God, this is amazing. And it's both sides, Chris. Both sides. Full board. I'm not talking about those little ones that I try to pull off at my shows. I'm talking about from collar to the bottom of the thing.
Dude, that's
front
awesome,
and back.
bro.
I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible. That's just something else. Listen, more power to you if you could do it. If David Lee Roth can get away with singing like that, a band can get away with bootlegging their own shirts.
Hold on, my brother. Let me tell you about that. So wait, so I go into Atlantic City, right? David Lee Roth. It's the first time I'm seeing him. I'm super excited. No merch.
Oh.
I'm like, no merch. Probably because the average age person that's going to see David Lee Roth is probably not going to buy a shirt, right? I'm in Atlantic City.
Right.
I'm in the Ocean Casino. I mean, let's be honest, right? Like, the people are, there probably would be, but I can't imagine, 30% of the people buying merch, it's probably not worth it, right?
Right.
And I'm like, well, damn, man, like, I want a David Lee Roth shirt. Went home, looked on Amazon. Some dude was making shirts with a poster on it. I'm like, $20, sold.
Boom.
Boom.
You still got
Done.
it cheaper. You still got it
Yeah,
cheaper. Amazing, man. And that's another thing too. Like, I mean, there's people selling on Amazon non-licensed stuff. I'm not sure how they can do that. I mean, it's just crazy. That's what I mean. They're creating so many restrictions about this and that, yet there's still all this craziness going on, and it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
It
It
just
really
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Yet it still hasn't made it any easier to get a gig.
You are listening to the Cosmick Voice with your hosts, Chris Natalini and Mick Michaels.
Oh, here we go. At least
we
we're
go.
laughing about it. Season 8, we're laughing about it.
Well, listen, because if we're not, we're going to be crying about it. So
Oh
what are
my
you going to
God.
do?
That was season 7.
The dark season. That's
Yeah.
right.
The dark times. Now, we've had some time off, time away. We're actually enjoying not having to deal with going out and playing anymore.
Bro, no idea. No idea. It's ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
It's crazy, man. So we played throughout the summer, thankfully. And we had that kind of scheduled out because we were promoting the new EP and all that. And then we knew we were going to have some time off because we were going to record. And in August, we record our Christmas song. And we're working on some new material for 2026. And we're doing some reissues of some old albums and trying to get them back up to a level that, I feel are much better. But literally was like, we're talking almost maybe 2 months since we had last played. And found plenty of good parking. But just the walk from the vehicle to the thing, I was like, oh, man. I don't miss this. And then I'm up on stage, and it's like, my wireless wouldn't work. And I'm like,
Oh, no.
I'm like, it worked at the last show. What? And I'm so out of the loop. I'm just pressing buttons, and I realize, you know what? You don't even know what you're doing here. Like, before I make this thing even worse, let me just shut it down and I'll go get a cord. We're going old school. Let me just plug it in and I'll deal with it when there's half decent lighting, because in a venue, when you're on stage right before you're ready to play is not the time to start taking your rig apart and start surgery. So I was like, okay, boom, 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 and then once I got it home and on the rack and I'm checking things, I'm going, oh my God, I must have accidentally hit something, then hit something else, and then you know how that stuff goes out of whack. So it just wasn't syncing up. I was thankfully, but man, how much you forget in such a short amount of time, but you get used to it. I don't know, man. During COVID, I couldn't wait to get back out. Now it's kind of like 5 years later, and I'm starting to understand, well, now I get why those people don't want to come back out again. It's just like, okay. Like, you miss playing, but like you were saying, like when we were talking about before we went to record, all that extra stuff, man, it's just taxing. It takes it out of you. Just all
It's
the
hard,
extra
man.
BS, man. All the extra. And there's even more now.
It's hard because, people are struggling money-wise. Listen, I'm not going to lie. We've all struggled money-wise our whole lives. Like, especially guys like us, middle class, working and just, trying to live and be happy and have a good life. And that's most of us. And a lot of people now are picking and choosing what they spend their money on. Whether it's the big concerts with the expensive shirts and a $1,000 night out, or are they going to go to the local pub and see bands that are just trying to get known, or pay to see bands and you don't know the music? Like, it's very, people are just kind of picky and choosy where they're spending their money now, and unfortunately live music is the thing that's taking a beating. Let me rephrase that. Live music that people aren't familiar with is the thing that's taking a beating. Obviously, a lot of tribute bands have kind of grown exponentially in the past couple years. People would rather go see that because it's the songs that they're familiar with, the bands that they're familiar with. I mean,
I'll give you a quick little story. Over the summer, during our little tour that we played, we did a few different states and stuff like that. We opened up for tribute band, and we're getting ourselves set up, and we're putting our set list up. Someone comes up, asks us who we are. We say, we tell them who we are. They're like, well, can I see your set list? I'd like to see what you're going to play. And I said, sure, but I'm pretty sure you're not going to really recognize any of those songs. And she goes, just let me take a look at it. And I go, okay, well, here it is. She's looking at it, and she goes, I don't know any of these songs. I says, exactly. I go, because we're an all-original band.
Right.
But to your point, people are going out now expecting the bands that they're seeing. Nobody's doing any pre-research or whatever,
Yeah.
But they're expecting the bands that they're seeing to all be cover bands of some sort, because that is the norm.
Yep.
And for us original guys, it's become basically all now pay to play. It's everywhere. From the big to the small to the in-between. It wasn't like that all the time. Not everywhere, but now it is, because no one wants to lose their shirt. And unfortunately, those original nights are not pulling in the numbers that they want, desire, hope, pray, anything of that nature. But I'll give you another example. I played just recently a place that does a Metal Monday once a month. They do it Monday evening. And here's how they make it simple for people. It starts at 7:30, ends at 9:30. 3 bands, all ages. This is the first time I played here. New booker. I seen it throughout the summer. It kept boasting big numbers. Place was packed.
That's great, man.
On a Monday. Because the booker said, we devised this thing to give people no option to say no. It's low cost to get in. All ages. Starts at 7:30, ends at 9:30. For the locals in that area, you're home by 10 o'clock. You would be up anyway, waiting for the new, I don't know what to do with my kids. Oh, I can take them with you. They had an arcade there. It was clean. There was a bar, but they also had food. There was soda. They even provided soda dispenser and some light, finger-type food for the bands. And there was only 3 bands.
That's amazing.
I mean, are they becoming millionaires? Is somebody going to be the next Metallica? I don't know. But that establishment is doing 2 things, just 2 major things. One, they're filling what's normally a dead night, especially during football season.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And 2, they're providing an option for the bands to create entertainment for that community so that people get familiar with it. The problem that happens is, in my opinion, these venues, they get to all of a sudden, like at one point it was like everything was metal. Then they killed themselves. Just like anything else.
Yeah.
So if they made it less becomes more, makes people want to be out there. And I know there's all these places that don't want to do all ages because of this or that, or they think they're going to not make the bar sales or something. Well, let me tell you something. This is going to be an episode in itself, but in the 80s, when places like the Empire Rock Club or Bonnie's Rocks opened up an all-ages night, they still had a bar, and it was quarantined off, but the numbers soared, the people came out, and the bands thrived.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So it doesn't mean that you have to do it all the time, once a month, twice a month, once a week. However you work it out that you see the numbers working for you, I think it benefits everyone. It benefits everyone.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to add to that, too, because you said 2 things you liked about it. Third thing is, sounds like they treat the bands with respect.
Yes.
Which we don't really get anywhere anymore.
No. Now, again, this is a newer venue in an older location, but You know how things change over time, but if you keep that going and it remains successful, why would you change the model?
That's right.
As more success comes, guess what happens? The model starts changing. And they start taking things away so they have more.
Yeah.
That's one for you, one for me. 2 for you, 1, 2 for me. Right? And so on and so forth. It gets greedy. Who suffers? The bands suffer. That's our business talk for this episode. I don't know, man. Listen, season 8, we have so much that we're going to cover this season. You had said early on, it's changing every day.
Every day.
With any hope, things will get better and better and better. But I know the Copyright Alliance is working hard to get this AI thing straightened out. At least there are people in the industry that are looking for what is best for everyone involved. They're not trying to, again, not to prolong this, but we'll talk about it in some other episode, I'm sure. They're not trying to eliminate AI, like tell people don't use it.
Right.
But there has to be some accountability. And it has to be in a way that it's not taking from other artists who are working. There has to be some kind of protection to that. Just like they have protection if your music does get on FM or some kind of radio where, that artist gets paid for. Because prior to, I don't know what it was, 7 years ago or so, on the internet, you could play anything you want. There was no accountability for it. Now you have to get a license. If you're going to be an internet radio station, you have to get a license to play the more nationally known stuff. So you got to pay for something. But all the independent stuff, as long as you get the artists okay, you can do that. So you have 3 kinds of stations. One that only play independent stuff, no nationally known stuff. One that plays just the national big stuff because they want the numbers to come in. And then you have one that plays the mix. And what better way? My band gets to be on the same show that they played Twisted Sister and Black Sabbath or Judas Priest or something like that. I remember I was in a chart or something like that. I was either 2 up or 2 below. It didn't even make a difference. From Dee Snider's new release at that time. I was like, oh my God. To me, I don't care if it was 2 up, 2 up. That's unbelievable. I was like, that's perfect for me. Dee Snider and me only 2 degrees away. That's fantastic. So, what do you think, bud? What do you think? Season 8.
Excited. Season 8, brother. I'm excited, man. I'm excited we're back. I'm excited for this new season. We have so much to talk about, and I'm sure our list will change as we go along because they always do. Like I said earlier in the show, we're coming off, awards, and we were voted on, and it's super exciting, man, to be here and to be back. And I'm glad. Season 8.
Season 8, baby. Looking forward to it. If you like that episode or this season or something else that Chris has done, check us out at www.thecosmickvoice.com. I don't even remember what I used to say, but check us out. Thanks so much for listening. This is The Cosmick Voice. If you have a question, a topic idea, or something you want us to address, just contact us through our Facebook page at The Cosmick Voice. You can listen to The Cosmick Voice at Spotify, Breaker, Apple, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, and at thecosmickview.com. Check us out on Facebook at The Cosmick Voice.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for us. If you're hearing this message, you've listened to the entire episode. And for that, Mick and I would like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And we hope you enjoyed this new episode. And if you did, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Also, feel free to let us know what topics you'd like to see covered in future episodes of The Cosmick Voice. And you can get in touch with us through thecosmickvoice.com and, of course, all of the Cosmick Voice social medias. Take care and be safe.
You're listening to The Cosmick Voice. Music, talk, and nothing but business.